have the video off, you might get a list of the participants' names on the side.
I found it. I can see. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you for your help, because basically I use Zoom more than Teams. So I'm getting now used to use Teams, because artistic swimming, use Teams. So sorry if you have any suggestion to how to manage, but I'm getting a lot better. This is another issue with iTech. The kids are probably amazing at doing this. Well, so is everybody ready with notepad and a pen? Thumbs up. If you mute yourself, you can thumbs up. Also, guys, you can mute if you want. You can see me, you can hear me. It's up to you guys. I just want to make sure, if you have a question, you can write it down and we can spend a few minutes at the end, with questions. Or if the question is appropriate with the topic that we are talking about, just, you can text, or you can hands up, unmute yourself, and, speak up. It's kind of, as a start, it's kind of informal, meeting. It's not a proper presentation. It's a good way for me to get to know you guys, coaches, athletes. I see faces that I saw last time in the other session. I have a question regarding the past section, the last session. Did you like it, guys? Whoever attended, you like it? Did you enjoy it? And were you able, as I suggested, to repeat it by yourself? Have you done it one more session on your own? Yeah? Okay, that's good. Especially for girls that are still in lockdown, you guys. Some of you are still in lockdown. I can't believe it. I'm so sorry. I talked to Anna from Melbourne. Who is from Melbourne? Hands up. 1, 2, 3. I mean, Anna is in lockdown since she came back from Tokyo. I mean, we came back on the 9th of August. It's crazy. But hopefully you will be out and free soon. COVID. Anyway, so I'm happy to hear that you like the session. And I just want to anticipate the next session that we have. They still need to confirm, but there will be another session with strength and conditioning with the coach of the national team, Ross Smith. Is such a wonderful coach. And he will talk about the importance of the land work and, the strength to transfer then in the water. So don't miss that session. I will let you know. Vicky will let you know when it is. We have the date, but we don't know if it's going to be strength and conditioning first. And then the next session, it will be with the physio for the national team, Tokyo national team. And she will talk about the injury prevention, especially shoulders. So that's another one, very, very important. She will give you some exercises to do. And you guys, you need to make sure you do it every day, because it's so important for, everything we do with our arms. We work with the arms basically all the time. When we're sculling, and if we do it better, we use the arms, upside down. So injury prevention for shoulders, it's not to be missed. And then the last one, it will be with the speed swimming coach. He will give you 3 workouts to basically, not for the lockdown girls, but, to practice and see. He will talk about how important is the speed swimming, what is for hypoxic, aerobic work. So it's another interesting session. So please make sure you don't miss it, and try to involve other athletes as well. If they cannot attend, please take note and transfer, as I was talking to Mary, transfer to other girls, to other athletes, coaches, and spread everything, any kind of information that really helpful for us to get better in any area. Having said that, today I want to talk about music selection, music choice for our routine. The music, the music is very important. It's important for everybody. It's important for us, for coaches, for athletes, and for judges and audience, right? So let's talk about why it's important for judges, guys. Um, they are judging you, they're watching your routine, but if the judges like the music, Mary, actually I have a question for you. I know you're a manager, but were you a judge? Did you judge at some point?
I was a judge in Canada. I was a national judge in Canada
Yeah.
before I came to Australia. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope we have other coaches / judges, but I already would love
Yeah,
to.
I'm Lolli. I'm a judge as well, so I'm really interested to hear your talk.
Yeah, thank you. Nice meeting you online. And I forgot to record, so I'm starting now. Although they missing the introduction, but no, that's not recording. Here we go. How do we record? Hang on a minute. Sorry, you guys. How can I record? This is my camera. Can anybody tell me? Oh, stop recording.
I have a message on mine saying that recording has started. This meeting is being recorded. So
I don't know how I did it. Wonderful. Okay. Now, you guys, have you switched off your video? Wait a minute. What's going on? Oops, hang on. Sorry, 1 second. Technology. Yes. I cannot see anybody. Is that okay? Can you see me, guys? I can see this is recording. I think I lost the connection.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me,
I
guys?
can see you. I can see a few people. Yeah.
Oh, I don't see anybody. I don't know why. Okay, it's okay. I did something. This is my camera, so this is off and this is on. People. Okay, maybe they shut it. Maybe they close the camera. Anyway, so you guys, can you let me know if you can hear me? I don't know how.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I asked Mary if she's a judge, and then we have Heson. I hope I pronounce your name well, which is a judge as well, who is a judge. And I was saying that the music is important for judges because although I think they are really focused at watching and judging your routine, your performance, I'm pretty sure they are really disturbed if the music is not the appropriate music, a good music, and especially connected to your routine. I heard so many times, judges saying, oh my God, that music was so repetitive, was so annoying me, and this is important because we have to show a good performance, but we also need to please the judges. Not just please the judges with our skills, with our choreography, but please the judges with the music as well. We need to put the judges in a situation that they're happy to give us a good score. And it's not just on what we're showing technically, but the music is so important in our sport that it needs to have a very, very importance. So having said that, we also need to, although the judges, and don't get me wrong, Mary and Hassan, please interrupt me if I'm wrong. The judges like the music that has a melody, Yes, they like sharper music, but we need to study the judges and try to find that kind of music that pleased almost everybody. Obviously, the style is different. There are judges that like rock, the judges that like classic music, but trying to find a compromise in between this, it's I think is the best solution. Um, I will say one of my suggestion is to make sure that your music choice is not based on the same rhythm from the beginning to the end, because as you know, the free team, which is kind of 4 minutes long, it will be annoying for the judges. Sorry if I say straight, but it's very important to create different rhythm, to choose a piece of music that it's connected. The pieces of music needs to be connected. We can switch from classical to rock, um, but making sure that there is also a rhythm change during our routine. This is the first thing that I want to talk about. And then related to that, the music is important for the audience as well. How amazing is when we choose a music that the audience like and they start clapping the hands watching our routine. It's such a big impact. It affects the judges a little bit and affect you, because when you're swimming and you see that the audience engage with you, it's such a nice feeling, and that give you the even the motivation and the little sprint, to swim even better, to smile easy, and it's such a nice pleasure. So this is another thing that we need to take in consideration when we choose the music. It's very important that the athletes like the music. Why I want to talk with the athletes, guys? Because look, um, the coaches are really busy. They need to make so many routines. They need to coach so many group of athletes, and they need to do solo, duet, tech, and free and combo. Sometimes this is their job to choose the music for sure. But sometimes, and I did it as well, the coaches are asking the athletes to help and to provide music, um, asking you, okay, what would you like? You need to do a solo. What music would you like to swim? And that's why I want to talk to you guys as well, because what happened is that you guys, especially young, you like the music which is in the top 10 in what's it called, the most famous, and I don't know now, your favorite singer. But again, you need to think about it. It's not the music that you like to listen to the radio or with your AirPods. It's the music that you need to transfer in the water. So it needs to respect, talking about the solo, your style, your skills. Yes, it has to be a music that you like, but remember, the music that is in the top 10 probably doesn't last, very long, maybe a few months, and then there is another one. And the judges and the audience, they always listen to the music on the radio. It's probably not a perfect choice, because they would say, oh, here we go again, this music, it's like in my head, because they play on TV, constantly on the radio, and that's not a good choice, although the music is famous over there, in that time. So have a little thing, and then make sure that yeah, it's a famous music. It's something that you like. Always share with your coaches and have the feedback from your coaches if this is the appropriate music. Another thing that I want to say, especially for the solo, and then we will go through the duet and the team. Sometimes you guys and coaches, you choose the music with words, which is fine. It's there is nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it's interesting, and also to try to move and do and research your movement for your routine based on the words that the music says, but make sure you check the words, especially if it's in a different language. Check the words and check that the language is appropriate, is not offensive, and then make sure that it's right. Sorry, especially not offensive and appropriate to your age as well. Sometimes the words, they don't really match a 13, 15 solo, and just make sure that you check that. I suggest, sorry, I going back to the fact that you need to like the music. You guys, when you choose the music, when your coach with your help, when the club choose the music that you like, it's way more enjoyable to swim, to practice every day, to listen to the music every day. If it's a music that you don't like, say, here we go again, and people around you, they don't like it, I know we need to be focused in our job, but it's so much better when there is a music that you like to swim. The practice, it becomes much easier and with way more fun. Don't you agree with that? I cannot see you, but I hope you agree with me. Another thing which is really important is for the music to have a sense. What do I want to say with that? Have you had a chance to watch, for example, the Olympic Games? I hope so. And I would love to ask you, do you remember any music about the routine that you watched on TV? Is there any music that you still remember today?
I remember the Austrian music. I remember it was like very scary. I liked it.
Our music? Austria, the duet. Yeah, that was kind of scary. Believe it or not, because I like to talk with the judges at the end of every competition to have feedback and to improve. And, it's important for us. Believe it or not, somebody told me, oh my gosh, that music, it made me so stressed and so tense. The duet was beautiful. We're talking about Austria, right? The duet number 1. I guess so. Answer me. But anyway, yeah. So it was good, and the routine was appropriate. But for some judges, it was too scary. It was too stress. Now, how can we guess the music that everybody likes? Yeah, we need to find a good compromise, and then we need also to take some risk. At some point, if we wanna, those two girls, the duet, was doing the routine about dolls and scary dolls, and actually the routine was beautiful and was totally appropriate with the music. What else? I do remember actually from Olympic qualification tournaments. I totally remember, and it was a shame, poor girls, they couldn't compete at the Olympic Games. I remember the Greek team. It was cats, and it was enjoyable. It was beautiful. I still remember the music. So we also need to try to find some music that the judges will remember and people will remember. So it's such a hard job to find the right music. But again, why I do remember the Greek music, I can explain you in 1 minute. The Greek music had a theme. It was cats. And so with the music, with the musical Cats, their movement were totally appropriate with the music. So here we go. It doubles up. Like the music is good, the movement are totally appropriate, and then it sticks in your mind. I hope it makes sense. So regarding the theme, there are two ways to choose music and connect it to a theme. which is really important, because otherwise, if you don't have a theme in the team, then the judges say, well, what was this routine talking about? It doesn't make any sense. So there are two ways. You can find a nice piece of music, a good piece of music, and you need to study the theme to put on that music. Or you can do the opposite. You can have a theme in your mind and try to do a research to find the right music, the correct music, to appropriate music to your theme. Let's make an example. If you wanna, I make a simple example. Let's say you wanna do a routine that talks about animals. You obviously are going to find a theme that talks about jungle sounds, wind, and fire and forest. But if happen the opposite, like if you find a nice music and say, what can I do with that? You try to listen to the music so many times until something comes to your mind. Like you listen, and then when a thought crosses your mind, then that's the thoughts that you need to explore. You need to try to expand and try to have the kind of movements connected to the accent of the music with the piece of music, and try to maintain the theme for the entire routine with pieces of music that have the same connections, different piece of music. We said we can't play the same piece of music for 4 minutes. So I will suggest at least 3 pieces of music, not too many, because otherwise the music is interrupted, but definitely the theme should be connected to the entire 4 minutes, even though we have 3 pieces of music, slightly different, but with the same connection. Am I clear, guys? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. So a theme is important. And guys, honestly, it's becoming necessary. We used to have routines like without a theme. We think about creating a piece of an hybrid, and we're thinking, fishtail, beneath, split, and vertical, and spin. It doesn't make sense with the choreography. It's I would say it's not possible to, let's take the Greek example, cats. You can't do cats, from the beginning to the end. But in a hybrid, you can do one movement that it's related to the theme. Then obviously you need to do spin. Obviously you need to do vertical and fishtail and vertical beneath. But at least one movement that recall the theme of your routine, and it's a lot easier when you have this in your head. It's also easier to make the choreography, because yes, you do purpose lift, vertical, and then once you're in a vertical, through the end of the hybrids, you do something that it's related to your theme. I hope it makes sense and it will help you. So if you don't have any question about the music, the judges, the fact that you need to like it and to have a theme, I will move forward, but I wait a few seconds if you have any questions. Mary and Hazen, as a judge, if you want to add anything, I will be happy to. This is a kind of a workshop together. It's a chat about music.
Yeah.
What do you think about what I said with the judges? With the judges' reaction.
Look, I
Go,
think
Andrea.
it's true for definitely for artistic impression. If you see swimmers that love the music, you can tell if they're enjoying it, and I think you score more highly, definitely on artistic impression, and then probably on execution as well. If you pick something that kind of makes sense to you, and that you really can feel when you're performing it.
I agree with that. Thank you, Mary. Hasten, what do you think?
That was Andrea speaking.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I
I agree with Andrea. I was going to just ask Lolli about, do you recommend incorporating accents into the music, so sound effects and whatnot? So that's one question. And also, I think Andrea will agree. Sometimes the quality of the recording is, and the cuts of the music, are not very good. So perhaps you can elaborate on the importance of making sure the quality of the recording is good, and how to improve on the music so that it can enable you to express your theme. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. It was on my list as well. Yeah, because and it's good to talk right now if there are no other question or about this. It's good to talk about this because I mentioned choosing 2 or 3 pieces of music, not too many, and not the same piece of music. So I can go now to what I said. Accent. It's sometimes it's important, to add some accent. And when you choose a music, remember one thing: it should be important at the beginning, because it's your entrance, is your, I call it business card. Because when a music is important, everybody turn around and say, "Oh, that's an important music. It's a nice music, right?" And so they look at you, the judges look at you, I'm sorry to say that, with a different, attitude. Say, "Oh, nice music. Let's see what they're doing." And that's why it's important. And it's the end of your routine. It's important as well, because it's the last thing that the judges see. So beginning, impression, and the end, thinking, to let the judges think that you still strong. Normally, I suggest through the end to choose something that it's kind of a little bit faster, because the judges will see that you still have the strength towards the end of the routine. It's not good, to present yourself really well at the beginning, and then on the second lap, it goes down. Like, even the interest from the judges goes down. So that's why going towards the end, it's important to show that. When we said, let's talk about the accent. For example, if you plan at the beginning, like the majority of the routines, even in the duet or in a team, to start with the lift or something, a choreography, a team, it's nice if the music doesn't have that kind of reinforce, on your lift. Yes, if you have the possibility to work with a music man, I call it that way, it will be nice to add some, how do you call them, embellishment, to put something more, to put an accent that highlight your action at that moment. Regarding the accent, you need to be careful, because sometimes you see that the music man added something on your music to make your work easier. For example, accounting. Let's say before a rock is played, to make sure that everybody is perfectly synchronized, you can hear some music doing tick, 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 ta, ta, ta. And that tick, 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 I'm not sure the judges really like it, because it's obvious that it's an ad to make your rock split better, but maybe doesn't match perfectly or properly with the music. So even there, we need to be smart. We need to choose the right instrument to add, an accent on our music. But definitely adding accent, it makes your routine, more effective. And so, yeah, absolutely. Talking about the pieces of music, yeah, it's important to put them together. First thing I said, they should be on the same style, different speed, but same style. As I suggest, it's better not to mix classical music with rock unless you want to do a routine black and white, and choose, to show the judges a totally different uh, how can I say, interpretation. Like if you want to do the black swan and the white swan, it's kind of the decision on your choreography. But talking about music editing, it's something important because you can cut the music and boom, attach, something. So normally the coaches are good at that as well. If you have the possibility, you give this job to a music man who does it professionally. But with all of this technology in GarageBand and I don't know, Spotify, whatever, for coaches, it's easy to do it by themselves. What I used to do is basically to try to fade out, the music, the first piece, fade out, and then overlap the second piece of music and fade it in. So it's kind of a blend transition. Sometimes it's necessary to finish with an accent, and then the second piece of music start, gradually. Um, this is a good way to do it. And if guys, you're not able, just trust a music man, and he will do it for you. Recording the music. It's important for us to hear the music very loud. We all know that. And sometimes we make mistakes. Like we do it online, we create the track, and then we put the volume so high that unfortunately we'll have the opposite effect at the competition. And it start cracking, and that's not good things because again, you cannot hear the music, guys, properly, and the judges don't like it either. So trust the music man at the competition. Um, and if your music is not super loud, the music man can increase the volume. But if your volume, the recording of your routine is too loud, then the music man cannot do anything because as soon as it turns up, it will, you say, distortion. And so that's not good either. It's better to go at the competition if you have the possibility. It's better to go to the competition with probably 2 or 3 versions. And if you have the possibility to practice the music, then you choose the best one. It makes sense. So when we at the international competition, we obviously have this possibility because we have few days practice with music, in a competition pool, in a training pool with the proper music system. And so we have time to do this. I'm not sure how it works at your nationals because I never had the pleasure to be a your national yet. And I don't know if you have the possibility to do that. I don't know which kind of music system you have at your nationals, but it could be the same as you use practice. So then you practice the different volume sets for your versions, and then you choose the best one to go to the competition. Yeah, this is a very good point. Thank you. And there is one more thing that I want to say about the music, the length of the music. Okay, so we know that. Let's take the theme. It's 4 minutes, and then we have 15 seconds, plus or minus. And guess what? I normally go very close to the limit. Like I normally go 4:14. I tell you why. First of all, because it's an opportunity for us to show more. You never go too close, right? Just go 4:13 is good. 4:14, I take a risk, I know, but I never got a penalty, so I keep doing that. However, it's important to go through almost the time limit over, like 4:15, because listen to this. I really like to speed up the music. What do I mean for that? When the choreography is done and you start practicing, then you get used to practice. You get used to you at the beginning, maybe it's too fast, but then you practice, you become stronger, you get the movement, and you get used to it. And at some point, to challenge yourself and to challenge your routine, it's worth it to try a little bit faster. It will make you, it's a challenge. So it's a process of training and improving. And it's a way for you guys to get better. In which way? Faster, sharper, and to travel more. And that's why when I go to 4:14, then I speed up 2 seconds, okay, 4:12. And then I speed up another second. And then you can, play with that until you achieve the perfect speed connected to your physical preparation of your routine. Does make sense?
I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
I know, it's crazy. I need to tell you this, and the girls, if I don't think there is any girl from the national team, they're still on a break from the Olympics, but I need to tell you, we started like 3:09 with the duet team tech, and we ended up like speeding the music more than 10 seconds, and it was perfect. It was sharp, it was fast, the girls enjoy it, and it's such a great idea. You please need to remember that, because you'll see at some point even the coaches get bored, because, and then we need something. You can't change the choreography, you can't change the music, but yes, you can change the speed, and that makes a kind of a good challenge. I really like that. Music editing, we said that. And I want to suggest you something. You guys and coaches, once you choose the music, choreography done, even at the beginning, whenever you want, you have to make sure you give the music to your athletes. Athletes, you need to make sure you have the music of your routines. And not just that, you need to make sure you listen to it. And you need to make sure you practice and you do your land drill. Artistic swimming is such a complex sport. You know how many things we need to practice. We need to improve flexibility, extension, swimming, strength, gym, choreography, figures and elements, and blah blah blah. Sometimes there is not enough time, at the pool to cover all of that. And other than, I'm sure your coaches have the best organization, you athletes need to make sure you do something on your own. You do extra stretch, you do extra feet and extension and abs and everything you can. And the music is important as well. The music is important, that it's yours, it becomes yours, you know it perfectly. But be careful. The better you know the music, the better you need to count on the music. This is very important. Make sure, please write it down on your notepad in capital letter. Please choose a music that is countable, especially for team and especially for duet. If you want to have the perfect synchronization, you need to make sure that your music, it's countable. First of all, because, improve synchronization, as I already said. But second, as I said before regarding your coaches being very busy and coaching 3 groups at the same time, I know the reality of clubs, guys. I coached in a club, and it's not as beautiful as the national team that you have the entire pool for yourself. I get it. And it can happen that your coach is doing something and she gives you, she gives another group something else to do on her own. And that will be the perfect moment to practice your hybrids, your stroke section or laps, whatever it is, with a metronome. If the music is countable, your coach will set up the metronome and you can practice. If the music system is busy with another group, you can still work on your synchronization, matching the metronome with a duet partner or with the teammates, and you can do a very important work on the side on your own. Does it make sense? That is so important. Yes, I hope so. I want to say, I want to make up, I already anticipate something earlier when I was talking about the solo. Solo, yes, it could be also a song, a famous song with words, and it's to be very effective, because guess what? Judges, you can tell me what you think. When there is a solo in a swimming pool, there is not much to see. Yes, there is a soloist, and the soloist should be a really superstar, should be the one that likes to perform and beautiful and skilled, but there is no synchronization to watch and to judge. The synchronization, yes, is in the music. This is artistic interpretation, right? But then we have the possibility also to be a little bit slower, with the music, because in the solo helps a lot with, extension, interpretation, slow music are beautiful in a soloist, okay? But in a duet, I will suggest I will suggest to choose a music that it's a little bit faster, and it makes the duet working faster, traveling faster. It makes your routine a lot stronger and way more interesting. It's hard to be synchronized when it's fast, but guys, this is the route to follow, because if you watch some duets in at the Olympics and World Championship, I'm sure you did in the past as well, it's becoming faster and faster. And you guys, artistic swimming athletes, are incredibly special. You can do so many things at the same time. Although I'm doing this job since, I won't tell you how many years, I'm still impressed. You upside down, moving legs and this and that, breathing and smiling, and you are special. Did you know that an artistic swimmer, is able to do 4 movements in 1 second, as fast as you can move. So in a duet, my suggestion is pick a music that challenge your routine, being a little bit faster, and your strength, will work. You can improve your strength as well as you swimming. For the team, as I said before, it could be, a kind of, can I say, alternance, of music. Sorry, sometimes my terminology, it's a little bit funny. But yeah, you can change. So fast at the beginning, important. And then there is no slow music anymore. I want to explain something about this. In the past, and being on the field for so many years, I witnessed the changing of the music choice. And in the past, we used to do important the first, slow the second, fast the third part. 3 parts. Important, lift and choreography, blah, blah, blah. And then slow to recover, and fast again to show that you're strong. There is not anymore. Now, guys, the routine, it's actually a sprint from the beginning to the end. And they could be a little bit low rhythm in the middle, but I won't say slow. Slow doesn't exist anymore, especially in duet, team, tech and free. We can play with the slow music, for example, in a combo, because in a combo there will be a solo, maybe in the middle or at the beginning, and it's appropriate. That's clever to choose. But I would suggest, if we want to improve and we want to get close to the high level internationally, then we need to change a little bit this mentality and pick music that they challenge yourself at getting better and better every day. What else? I think I covered everything I want to talk about, but you guys can ask me something else if I forgot something.
I have one question.
Yes.
If you are using some classical music like Tchaikovsky, Chopin, how appropriate to cut it and take some parts out or change the order of the parts? I feel not proposal.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and that's an interesting question. When I want to be clear, when I mention classic and rock, the classic music is beautiful. I won't say, not to use it. The problem is those kind of music, first of all, are so long, right? Unless you find a allegretto or adagio, which is a little bit short music. But when you do something so important, that's a big dilemma, because they are so famous that if you speed up the music, maybe Tchaikovsky maybe wakes up, from the other world and say, what are you doing? That's such an important piece of music. Well, you need to be, I won't say smart. I know you're smart, but you need to be smart in a way that you do it, but you don't offend, the singer or the composer. Okay, so make sure that if you speed it up, you don't do it too much, because then the music lose the melody. Doing music editing with a piece so important, I will suggest to refer to an expert. And again, you try to fade it out, don't cut it, so sharp and put, another piece of music that it create friction. But, if you fade out and you fade in the next piece, it can help. But it depends, in the length of the piece of music that you want to work with. If you cut the middle part, and some judges are very, very expert in the music, then you're gonna create a little bit, oh my God, and they don't appreciate it. They understand our needs, but in the meantime, we can't ruin a piece of music that is so famous. I'm sorry, I cannot answer clearly, but I will go, if you're not sure about what you're doing by yourself, just, refer to an expert and a music man with the appropriate, tools, mixer, and they can help you for sure. I'm sorry, it's extra cost, but it's worth it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question on that, guys, or coaches, manager? I thought about something else, and I'm sorry, it will get back to me. Go ahead, please, if you have any question.
Oh, can I just say as well, if you are picking a sort of a well-loved piece of music, it's always good to just do some research or something on YouTube when you're exploring the themes, because often people pick music of, for example, someone picked Madonna's Vogue, and there was no voguing at all in the choreography whatsoever. So that's a very sort of famous song for someone my age, and so it can be sort of surprising if you leave out something that is associated with that piece of music. So if you do find something you love, just go and look at the video, the original video. That will give you some ideas as to how to work in choreography that would fit the theme.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Google, YouTube, anything. Like, for example, thank you for bringing this up. For example, if you choose to do Irish music or Irish dance, boom, you go on YouTube, you go on Google, and you start watching dancing, music, musical, and it's so, don't get me wrong, it helps a lot to make the choreography because you can pick strokes, and you know, when they dance, you can transfer those movements on the hybrids. Yeah, absolutely. It will help you a lot. And if you, as you said, you choose a piece of Madonna, you have to do in your routine a move that Madonna is doing, you know, on the video. That will help a lot. This is a research when it's related to the theme. Like if you wanna make a routine about I don't know, birds, or you know, something like a theme. You pick any theme. You just Google the theme and see what happened. You can see a picture, you can see a paint, you can see a musical, you can see a song, and then you develop that idea and create your own style, you know, for your routine. Definitely research. It's crucial, and any kind of channel you have. Yeah, YouTube, there is everything on YouTube, so it's the most popular. But sometimes you just Google and watch painting, for example. If you see, you know, everything helps, you know, to give you ideas. For example, another way for me to get ideas, um, either music and theme, it's rhythmic gymnastic, it's figure skating, uh, and yeah, and just, you know, ballet, contemporary, you know, dance. And you just Google it. You just say contemporary dance, and then you see different movements, a piece of music. And another thing, sorry if I skip now, another channel open in my head. Another thing is on the first page of my phone, I have Shazam. Everywhere I am, if I hear something, if I'm walking, if I'm watching TV, or boom, I immediately Shazam it. The title comes up. Now you can listen to the music, but you can also explore that kind of um, that kind of music, right? And sometimes um, Shazam or Spotify, I think it gives you different pieces of music, different singers, but still the same style, if makes sense. And so you can probably find one piece from an author and another piece for a different one, but it's still the same style. And that's a very good help. And then you can even screenshot your Shazam and you watch it, you know, when you go home. You can buy a music on iTunes, or Spotify is free. I'm still, you know, attached to iTunes, old style. But yeah, absolutely. And believe me, rhythmic gymnastic helps a lot. It's very, very helpful for us. And figure skating as well. And now that I said figure skating, it's also good for lift. If you, yeah, even, you know, how to grab the athletes. You know, I had the experience in England to work with an Olympic medalist for with the squad. He was helping us to create, you know, lift and stuff, and actually it was a great experience. And we came out, you know, with a couple of new lift, you know, that came from figure skating. Yeah, definitely. Very good. And they have also very good music. Music editing, yes, style. I hope I haven't forgot anything. Oh, there is one thing I want to tell you again. When you choose a music, make sure that you research the composer, the author, the artist, and the singer. Just have as many information as you can, because when you go to international, and Mary can confirm as a manager, um, you need to provide, you know, all of the information that you have about the music. And I think definitely in Europe and in America, I'm pretty sure in Australia as well, there is a fee to pay. I don't know how it's called in Australia, but there is a company that control all of the music. And so you need to pay the copyright if you want to use the music. I'm not sure always happen, you know, in artistic swimming, but still it's something that it should be done. So make sure you have all of your information as well of the music that you choose. I would love to ask the kids, the young athletes, sorry kids, I call kids everybody, even Amy Thompson, who is 25. I would love to know what is your favorite music? What do you like to swim, you know, in a pool? Do you have any preferences or? Come on, speak up.
Lolli, I put the name of the copyright company in the chat, APRA, A-P-R-A in Australia.
Okay, thank you. Well, of course, there is that beautiful opera. Is that one, Sydney?
No, the APRA,
okay.
A-P-R-A is a company in Australia that is responsible for copyright.
Okay, yeah. And so, yeah, that's important, especially for coaches. This is not something that you athletes need to be worried about. This is for coach and manager, but you know better. Yeah, that's important. You guys, any other question? Do you think that was helpful? I know things that you know, but already, but sometimes it's nice, you know, to talk about it and refresh. Oh yeah, that's right. Maybe I should not choose that. And always remember, you need to please the judges with your routine. And thank you. I think Andrea, you mentioned something about when the athletes like the music, they swim better, they smile better, they smile more natural, and definitely has an impact for sure. I'm smiling now because it was a feedback that we had at the Olympics. You know, we did our best in such a short time, and we speed up the music. We try to look faster and stronger, but and you know, we did our best. But probably if we would have more time, we would have done definitely, you know, a little bit better. But one thing the judges told me is like, your girls were having so much fun, you know, they really enjoyed, you know, to swim, and you can tell from their face, and that's very important in my point of view.
Lolly, just sometimes in club situations, or quite often actually, I think routines get passed down. So from year to year, it will be repeated, and then maybe repeated again the next year, repeated again. Do you have any advice for coaches or athletes? I mean, as you said, the athletes, it's important that the athletes love the music. If it was not a particularly successful routine, is there any point in repeating it? Because I know that coaches are busy, and I think they do it to save time. And do you have any comments or advice there?
Well, yeah, I mean, as you said, the coaches sometimes are really busy, and I get it. So don't get me wrong if I said that. It's important to make your athletes happy, right? They need to come to the pool with joy. They need to come to the pool that they can't wait to swim, and this is important for them. A new music, it's so important. It's a secret, you know, to create a new choreography. Obviously, it takes time, and sometimes there is no time, and there is not enough space. So I talk to you both guys, coaches. Try to do your best, you know, to change routine often, you know. It should be every year. I know, I understand that, but you know, no more than 2 years for sure, because it takes a long time to become perfect. We're never perfect, but to become very strong, and it's fine to keep it for 1 year. But the coaches should be smart in this way. Maybe you change the tech and you keep the free, and then the next year you keep the tech and you change the other one. Make sense? So in somehow the girls have some motivation, extra motivation with that new music and new routine. And in the meantime, you maintain solid, one program, and start creating the new one for the next 2 years. This is one suggestion. A suggestion for the athletes: don't be annoyed, because if your coach decides to do that, it's not because she doesn't want to change your routine, because it's physically it's not possible, and it's better to keep the same routine rather than change it, and knowing that there is not enough time, not be able to present a good routine at the competition. A suggestion that I can say to the coaches is this: if you see that the girls are not happy and this and that, and this routine is been bringing forward for years, then you have two choices. You can keep the same movements, the same choreography, and try to change the music, or you can do the opposite. You keep the music and you change choreography. This is to help the athletes to be challenged, to be, motivated. It's not easy, because when a choreography is made on a certain style of music, it's hard to find a music that matches perfectly, but it's a good compromise if you try to adjust, the choreography. Maybe you keep the first lap, or maybe you keep an hybrid, but you change the second lap. So find just a good compromise to make, everybody happy, and not to complicate too much the coach's job. In the meantime, I want to say that the judges remember the music. So when you go to a competition with the same music, they say, "Here we go again," and probably they don't look at you with interest, because they think that you're going to present the same routine. So they don't appreciate that you slightly change the choreography, because the music, it's recall, the routine that they already seen. So my suggestion is the opposite. It's try to keep the same choreography, slightly change something. Maybe you change the left, or maybe you change slightly the hybrid, some patterns, but you change the music, which could have the same rhythm, but definitely a different sound. You can change the beginning. You can try it. And I don't wanna sneak, the judges. I don't wanna, be naughty towards the judges. But if you change the first lap, it's a different impact, because they don't listen to the music again. Then maybe you can use the second part, but try to, to make a kind of everybody happy. And definitely, if this will jeopardize your preparation, your result, your performance, and then you need to accept that you keep it for 2 years and then you change it. But please try not to do more than 2 years. And there is another thing, talking about these routines a bit passing through generation. Sometimes when you pass a duet to another duet, it doesn't fit, because the choreography, it's based on the skills and the abilities of the athletes. So maybe there is a duet which is really high and vertical, and so you put more difficulties, and there is another duet which is more flexible, and so you put more splits. There is a duet which works faster, and a duet that it's kind of a little bit slower. So just make sure to be strategic also who to pass the routines, right? It's not necessary learn the solo is the same. No, because the soloist has a personality, as a character, and not necessarily the routine. The athletes who receive the routine to learn has the same skills. So again, there should be some adjustment, at least. I understand it's sometimes for you guys necessary because you have so many things to do. But again, try to do something a little bit more, challenging for everybody. Just don't do it too easy. Like, okay, this is a solo, this is a video, learn, you're going to compete. I mean, I don't think it's right. But I also understand, that you're so busy. But we can find a compromise, right? What do you think?
Thank
think
you. That was
somebody-
good.
Somebody text me. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Opera. Thank you. I saw it now, your text. How else can I help you guys with the music? Have you ever seen those MP3, Mary? I'm sure you've seen it because in Canada, lots of athletes have it. Those MP3, you guys, we had for the girls as well at the Olympic Games. And it's very, very helpful. And maybe you can ask for a Christmas present. It's kind of a little bit expensive, but maybe the club can buy a few. And you can put all of the music. And if you need to organize your session and you're working with the elements with one group and another group can do laps repetition, they can use the MP3 and swim with the music and not using the main music system. I don't want to promote brands, but the best one is from Finis. And it's a really good tool, for us. Actually, I saw something else at the Olympics, and there is something where it's connected to the coach's phone, and you can actually talk on your phone and talk in Bluetooth with the athlete. That's even better because you have the music, but if needed, you have the coaches talking to you as well. So there are some things that we can use, a lot of tools. There is another thing. When I talk about the metronome, obviously the metronome should be plugged in. The metronome on your phone, you plug it in and the sound comes out from the music system. However, there is a little thing. It's called lap counter. And the swimmers are using the lap counter, to count the strokes that they do in their the practice. And you can, it's a very small one. It's yellow. I think the brand is Finis as well. And you can set up, the metronome, and there is no hooks and nothing. You just put inside your swing cup, and you can hear it clearly, and you can practice with the metronome as well. That's really good too. I don't have it with me because actually I left the Tokyo luggage, in America, and I don't have it with me. Otherwise, I wouldn't show you. But you Google it, Amazon. I don't think Amazon works really well in Australia, right? Because it's so big. How does it work? We have, 24 hours delivery here because it's such a small country, but you can find it, Google it. And it's a very small one. It's, it's floatable, so you don't lose. It's very light and it's very good for practice, even for figures, even for elements. I love metronome. If you get that, right? I don't like to bang, with I don't like tapping. I like the metronome much better. That's Busy's fault. You guys, what do you think? Are you still there? I see names. I don't see you. I hope you're still there. And tell me if you have any other questions. You can actually ask him even music if you need coaches. If you need some music, pieces of music, just feel free to email me because I think I have 30 years of music in my hard disk. And I'm pretty sure if you struggle with music, I can help. Happy to help any way I can. Girls, are you still there?
We're here.
Thank you. I don't know why I lost you. What other question? Do you have any other question, you guys? I don't think I missed anything that was on my list. Remember, I want to finish with reminding you that the music have to be, other than the solo, have to be countable. You know, and guys, I was saying earlier, countable means that you have to count the music, even though you know the music perfectly, even though you know the words, even though sometimes I can hear you guys singing instead of counting. Just you need to force yourself to count on the music, because the numbers, the counts, are the best way to synchronize, you know, the swimmers. When you listen to the music, everybody can hear different, you know, things, you know, minors, like an instrument more than another one. And that's when, you know, the synchronization is not perfect. We count, you can't go wrong. I'm here, you know, for few questions if you want to. Otherwise, you guys, I just want to say that I think I covered everything I want to talk about. Are you okay with that? Or do you want to talk about something else related to the music? I know. We can do that again and talk about something else. Yeah. I mean, you can reach out to Vicky or to myself straight and say, hey, we want to talk about choreography. Now we have this doing the webinar, and I pass on to you. I add something, you know, from myself, and we're definitely going to have another session. But during the school break and lockdown, we wanted to cover, you know, a little bit of everything. And so we did the flex. We talked about music today. Biz is gonna talk, and I will do after her, talking about choreography. Then there is S&C, injury prevention, and speed swimming. This is to help you guys, lockdown girls, school break, and but I think I wanna connect. Is in the plan for me to connect with the coaches regularly and talk about many things. One of the things that I really care about is try to unify our technique. When I joined the national team, I love to coach in Canberra because I can go down the stairs and watch the girls from underwater. But then I saw, you know, different technique. And that will make the synchronization a little bit harder. So it's not just for that, it's also that we are all on the same page and we teach the same things. That is something that it's necessary to do, and especially for spins, thrust, support skull, you know, we will talk about that. I don't want to start because otherwise I won't stop. And I don't know if the kids are sleeping. I'm sorry, I hope not. So, ladies, is in the plan. Please make sure to reach out to me and yeah, and just mention what you want to talk about. I will be away for a bit, but I'm available online, even if I need to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, or, you know, I'm here and I want to help as much as I can.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you
much. That was great.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you very much. It was really helpful.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you very much. You guys, reach out to me, kids. Even though you have questions, I'm here. So you have Vicky, teams, this, you know, I'm available. If you want to ask anything, seriously, I love it. I hope to see you soon again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mary, Andrea.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. How can I stop the recording? Can anybody help me?
It stops once you leave
once everyone leaves the thing.
Thank
Yeah.
you, my dear. How can I watch it?
If you make like a whole team, like a group with everyone that came to the meeting, that will like
Okay.
you can like it just uploads by itself onto like the inbox and everything. It's like mail, except you can just do Zoom everything.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
It's
I will be
okay.
amazing with this in a couple of months. Thank
Yeah.
you, my dear. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.